You were never meant to age. You are not here by accident. The algorithm did not send you this video. The universe did. I want you to sit with that for a moment, because what I'm about to share with you, it has been hidden, not locked away in some distant vault, not encrypted in a language no one speaks. No, it has been hidden in the most intimate place imaginable. Inside you. Inside every single cell of your body. Right now, as you watch this, your heart is beating approximately 100,000 times today, as it has every day of your life. Your body is generating 37 trillion cells of unimaginable complexity, and buried inside the nucleus of each one of those cells is a library that contains the complete blueprint of who you were born to be. And here is what they never told you. That library has a delete button, and most of humanity has been pressing it every day, without knowing. Modern science calls what I'm describing cellular aging. Ancient wisdom called it the forgetting. And for the first time in human history, we now have the tools, both sacred and scientific, to reverse it. What you are about to learn is not theory. It is not philosophy in the abstract sense. It is a map, a living, breathing, biological and spiritual map that leads you back to the version of yourself that existed before the world told you who to be, before stress carved itself into your chromosomes, before fear taught your cells to shrink. This is the sacred DNA hack, and you were always meant to find it. Stay with me. The alchemy of youth, what quantum physics and ancient wisdom already knew. Let me take you somewhere first. Before we talk about your cells, I need you to understand the architecture of reality itself, because without this foundation, the keys I'm going to give you will feel like tricks. And they are not tricks, they are laws. Ancient laws. In the 3rd century BCE, the alchemists of Alexandria wrote about something they called the elixir vitae, the elixir of life. For centuries, historians dismissed this as naive mythology, desperate men chasing gold and immortality in bubbling crucibles. But look closer. The alchemists were not trying to create gold from metal. That was the exoteric reading, the surface layer written for the uninitiated. The true alchemical work was the transformation of the human body itself. Lead, representing the dense, unconscious, reactive biological organism, into gold, the luminous, awakened, biologically sovereign being. They were mapping a process that we, in 2026, are only now beginning to measure in a laboratory. Because here's what quantum physics has now confirmed. What ancient wisdom always knew. You are not a solid object moving through time. You are a field, a resonating, pulsing, electromagnetic field, and your DNA is not a static blueprint. It is an antenna. Dr. Fritz Albert Popp, a quantum biologist at the University of Marburg, spent decades measuring what he called biophotons, light particles emitted from living DNA. His conclusion was staggering. Your DNA communicates through light. It sends and receives photonic signals that regulate every biological process in your body. This means something profound. It means your state of consciousness, the frequency at which your mind vibrates, directly communicates with your genetic material. This is what the alchemists called the creative state, the state in which the philosopher transforms not metal, but flesh, not the body of another, but their own. And then there is the matter of the telomeres. If you have not yet heard this word, burn it into your memory, because it is the bridge between the ancient world and the modern laboratory. At the end of every strand of your DNA, there are these small protective caps, telomeres. Think of them like the plastic tips at the end of a shoelace. They protect the integrity of your chromosomal data. And every time a cell divides, those caps get shorter. This is what scientists used to call inevitable aging, the progressive erosion of the telomere. They called it a biological clock, ticking, always shortening. But then came the discovery that changed everything. In 2009, Elizabeth Blackburn, Carol Greider, and Jack Szostak won the Nobel Prize in Physiology for the discovery of telomerase, an enzyme that does not shorten the telomere. It rebuilds it. Your body already carries the biological machinery to reverse its own aging. It already has the elixir of life encoded within it. The only question, is whether you know how to activate it. The youth alchemy is real, the creative state is real, and over the next 30 minutes, I am going to give you 7 sacred keys that will teach you how to switch on what has always been within you. The quantum leap, why this moment in history is not a coincidence. Before I give you the keys, I need to speak to you about when you are. Because timing is not accidental, timing is intelligence. In numerology, in Vedic astrology, in the Mayan long count, In the ancient Kabbalistic tradition of the Shemitah cycle, every major wisdom system on Earth identified specific periods as accelerators, moments when the membrane between what is possible and what is manifest becomes thinner than at any other time. 2026 is such a moment. We are living through what many consciousness researchers, from Irvin Laszlo to Greg Braden, have called the Great Bifurcation, a fork in the evolutionary road, not a metaphorical fork, a literal, measurable bifurcation in collective human consciousness, reflected in rising global Schumann resonance readings, unprecedented solar activity, and the most rapid expansion of human knowledge in recorded history. The Schumann resonance, Earth's own electromagnetic heartbeat, has been spiking at frequencies that were unrecorded even a decade ago. And here's what is extraordinary: your brain, specifically your theta and gamma brainwave states, are calibrated to this planetary frequency. As the Earth's frequency rises, it is pulling human consciousness with it. This is not mysticism wearing a scientific costume. This is physics. The quantum leap I am describing is this: for the first time in recorded human history, the external environment itself is creating conditions favorable to biological transformation. The planet is offering a carrier wave, and those who know how to ride it, those who activate the sacred keys, will experience what can only be described as a reversal of biological time. Not as a metaphor, as a measurable, cellular reality. You did not find this video in a moment of casual browsing. You found it because some part of you, the part that exists below the thinking mind, and the cellular intelligence of your own DNA, recognized that the time is now. 2026 is your year of biological resurrection. Let us begin. Practical steps to reverse your biological clock. Sacred Key 1, the breath of coherence. Spiritual dimension, the prana activation. Biological dimension, vagal tone telomerase expression. The ancients of every tradition, the Vedic rishis, the Taoist masters, the Sufi mystics, all agreed on one thing before anything else: the breath is the master switch of the body. Not because it is metaphorical, because it is literally true. Your autonomic nervous system has two dominant states: sympathetic, fight and flight, the state of fear and urgency, and parasympathetic, rest and digest, the state of growth, repair, and regeneration. And the fastest, most powerful way to shift from the first to the second is through the breath. Here is the biological truth: when your nervous system is in chronic sympathetic activation, which most modern humans are, your body produces elevated cortisol, and elevated cortisol has been scientifically shown to accelerate telomere shortening. Stress is not just discomfort, stress is biological time acceleration. The antidote is what scientists at the HeartMath Institute call cardiac coherence, a measurable state in which your heart rhythm becomes smooth, ordered, and resonant. And the most reliable gateway to cardiac coherence is the 5-to-5 breath. The practice: inhale slowly through the nose for 5 counts, hold for 1 count, exhale slowly through the mouth for 5 counts, repeat for 5 minutes minimum. This single practice, done daily, has been shown in clinical studies to increase heart rate variability, the biological marker most closely associated with longevity, and to measurably reduce inflammatory biomarkers that accelerate cellular aging. In the sacred tradition, this is the activation of prana, the life force that flows through the subtle body. In the laboratory, it is vagal nerve stimulation that triggers the release of the neurotransmitter acetylcholine, the natural brake pedal of your stress response. Both descriptions are pointing at the same truth. Sacred Key 2, the photonic fast. Spiritual dimension, the alchemical purification. Biological dimension, autophagy, cellular regeneration. The alchemists called the first stage of transformation nigredo, the blackening, the burning away of impurity. Before the elixir could be created, the vessel had to be cleansed. Your body has its own version of the alchemical purification. It is called autophagy. The word comes from the Greek auto, self, phagion, to eat, self-eating. When the body enters a state of autophagy, it begins to consume and recycle its own damaged, dysfunctional cellular components, old, misfolded proteins, damaged mitochondria, precancerous cells, the cellular debris of a life lived under stress. Yoshinori Ohsumi won the Nobel Prize in 2016 for mapping this process, and the primary trigger for autophagy is one that the ancient traditions had already discovered thousands of years ago. Fasting. Not extreme starvation, not punishment, sacred restraint. Every major spiritual tradition incorporates fasting, from the 40 days of the desert traditions to the dawn to dusk fasts of Ramadan to the intermittent fasting of Buddhist monasticism. They did not practice this only for spiritual discipline. They practiced it because they understood, through direct observation, that the body transforms more powerfully in periods of sacred restraint. A 16 to 18-hour daily fasting window, which means simply compressing your eating to a 6 to 8-hour window each day, is sufficient to trigger sustained autophagy, combined with the reduction of ultra-processed foods and the addition of specific phytochemicals we will discuss in Key 3. This alone has been shown to measurably lengthen telomeres over 12 weeks. The photonic fast is not about what you remove from your plate. It is about what you allow your cells to become in the space of emptiness. Sacred Key 3, the molecular medicine of light, spiritual dimension, solar communion, biological dimension, NAD+, NMN, and mitochondrial biogenesis. In Hermetic philosophy, the sun is not simply a star. It is the logos made visible, the organizing intelligence of the solar system, expressed in photonic radiation that carries information, not just heat. Your body knows this. Every cell in your body contains mitochondria, the ancient, bacteria-derived organelles that generate your biological energy in the form of ATP, and these mitochondria are exquisitely sensitive to light. Morning sunlight, specifically the red and near-infrared spectrum of the rising sun, triggers what scientists call mitochondrial biogenesis, the birth of new mitochondria within existing cells. More mitochondria means more energy, more efficient cellular repair, more biological youth. But the deeper molecule here, the one that bridges ancient solar worship and modern longevity science, is NAD+, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. NAD+ is the primary fuel of your longevity enzymes, the sirtuins, and NAD+ levels decline precipitously with age, dropping by more than 50% between the ages of 40 and 60. The natural NAD+ precursors, NMN and NR, are found in whole foods, edamame, broccoli, avocado, mushrooms, and cucumber skin. They are activated more powerfully in the presence of morning light exposure. The sacred practice. For a minimum of 10 minutes each morning, within 30 minutes of sunrise, stand barefoot on earth or grass, face the east, eyes closed. Simply receive the light on your skin. No phone, no agenda, just the ancient communion between your photoreceptors and the living intelligence of the sun. This is not superstition. Your skin contains photoreceptors that directly communicate with your pineal gland, your circadian clock, and your mitochondrial network. This practice costs nothing, and it is one of the most powerful anti-aging interventions known to either science or sacred tradition. Sacred Key 4, the language of the field, spiritual dimension, mantra sacred sound, biological dimension, epigenetic expression through frequency. Your DNA does not speak English. It does not speak Azerbaijani, or Arabic, or Mandarin. It speaks frequency. Japanese researcher Masaru Emoto spent decades demonstrating that water, which comprises approximately 60% of your body, responds structurally to sound and intention. His crystallography work showed that water exposed to words of love and gratitude formed perfect geometric crystals, while water exposed to words of hatred formed chaotic, broken structures. Dr. Bruce Lipton's work in epigenetics, the science of how genes are expressed or suppressed without changing the DNA sequence itself, has demonstrated definitively that the environment of the cell determines which genes are switched on and which are switched off. And you are the primary architect of your cellular environment. The words you speak to yourself, silently, in the inner chambers of your mind, are not just thoughts. They are biochemical events. They trigger neuropeptide release. They alter gene expression. They communicate directly with the field that your DNA is constantly broadcasting and receiving. The sacred practice is this: choose 3 affirmations, not wishful statements, but declarations of biological truth. Speak them slowly, out loud, with the breath behind them, in a state of cardiac coherence. Every cell in my body is intelligent, alive, and choosing regeneration. My DNA remembers its original perfection, and is returning to it now. I am not aging. I am deepening. Repeat each one 7 times. Feel the resonance in your chest as you speak. This is not poetry. This is cellular instruction. Sacred Key 5, the architecture of sleep. Spiritual dimension, the dreamtime initiation, biological dimension, human growth hormone glymphatic cleansing. The ancients called sleep the little death. The Egyptians believed the soul traveled during sleep and returned each morning, having received instruction from the realm beyond the veil. The shamanic traditions of every indigenous culture on Earth treated the dream state as the primary laboratory of healing and prophecy. Modern neuroscience has now confirmed something extraordinary about sleep that makes these ancient beliefs seem less mystical and more precise. During deep sleep, specifically during slow-wave sleep, stages 3 and 4, your body releases up to 70% of its daily human growth hormone production. This is your body's primary regenerative signal. It triggers tissue repair, cellular cleanup, and the expression of longevity genes. Simultaneously, the glymphatic system, a recently discovered network of channels in the brain that is only fully active during sleep, flushes the brain of toxic metabolic waste products, including amyloid beta, the protein associated with Alzheimer's disease. The sacred architecture of sleep, darkness, complete darkness, or a sleep mask. Even small amounts of light suppress melatonin, not only your sleep hormone, but one of the most powerful antioxidants and anti-cancer molecules your body produces. Cool temperature. Your body's core temperature must drop approximately 1 degree Celsius to initiate deep sleep. Keep your sleeping space between 16 and 19 degrees Celsius. Magnesium, the mineral most commonly deficient in modern humans, and the primary cofactor for over 300 enzymatic reactions, including GABA synthesis, your brain's primary calming neurotransmitter. Magnesium glycinate before sleep is among the most sacred supplements in the modern biological toolkit. The dream intention, before sleep. Place your hand on your heart and speak one simple instruction to your unconscious mind. Tonight, my body remembers how to be young. Sacred Key 6, the coherent heart. Spiritual dimension, the sacred heart tradition, biological dimension, heart-brain coherence, immunological optimization. In virtually every sacred tradition, the heart is recognized as something far more than a pump. In the Sufi tradition, the Kalb, the spiritual heart, is the seat of divine perception. In the Hindu tradition, the Anahata chakra, the heart center, is the bridge between the lower material world and the higher spiritual dimensions. In the Western esoteric tradition, the Sacred Heart is the symbol of the divine love that overcomes death itself. The HeartMath Institute has now given us the scientific language for what these traditions were pointing toward. The heart generates an electromagnetic field that is approximately 5,000 times stronger than the brain's electromagnetic field. This field radiates outward from the body in a torus shape, extending several feet in every direction, and it is measurable, literally measurable with sensitive magnetometers. When the heart enters a state of coherence, through cardiac coherence breathing combined with the intentional generation of positive emotional states, this field changes in ways that have demonstrable effects on the immune system, the hormonal system, and the genetic expression of every cell in the body. The emotional states most powerfully associated with heart coherence, and therefore with biological regeneration, are appreciation, compassion, and love. Place your feet flat on the floor, your spine long, not rigid, long, like a tree that is rooted and reaches. Place your right hand over your heart. Begin to breathe, slowly, in through the nose for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 1. Out through the mouth for 5 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Continue this rhythm as we go deeper. Now, with each inhale, I want you to imagine, not just think, but feel, that you are drawing in a golden light, a warm, luminous, ancient light, the same light that animated the first living cell 3.5 billion years ago, the same light that has been passed, unbroken, through every ancestor in your lineage all the way to you. This light is real. It is the biophotonic field of life itself. Draw it in. Let it fill your lungs. Let it spill into your heart. With each exhale, release. Release the tension stored in your cells. Release the fear that became cortisol. Release the grief that became inflammation. Release the old story of inevitable decline. Let it go. It was never who you were. It was only what happened to you. Now, bring your awareness to the base of your spine. In the yogic tradition, this is the seat of Kundalini, the primordial life force that lies coiled, waiting. In modern biology, this region of the body contains some of the highest concentrations of stem cells in the adult human body. This is not a coincidence. Ancient maps and modern maps are pointing at the same territory. On your next inhale, imagine a warmth beginning at the base of your spine, a golden warmth, a living warmth that moves upward with each breath. Breathing in, the warmth rises through your belly, the seat of your gut intelligence, your second brain, where 90% of your serotonin is produced. Breathing in again, the warmth rises into your heart, and here, it expands, it blooms, like a sun rising inside your chest. Let this warmth radiate now from your heart into every cell of your body. This is not imagination. This is intention, and intention communicates with DNA. As this light reaches your cells, all 37 trillion of them, speak silently, from your heart. These words, I am remembering. My cells are remembering their original design. My telomeres are lengthening. My telomerase is active. My body is choosing life. Stay here for a moment, breathing, radiating, receiving. Now I want you to place your awareness at the very tip-top of your head, the crown. In the ancient traditions, this is the gateway through which the soul communicates with the higher dimensions of reality. In neuroscience, this region corresponds to the prefrontal cortex, the seat of your highest human capacities, compassion, wisdom, long-term vision, and the ability to override biological programming with conscious intention. Breathe into the crown. Imagine it opening, like a flower, like an aperture, like a lens, to receive the intelligence of the universe itself. And now, receive this transmission. You are not your age. You are not the wear and tear on your body. You are the awareness inside the body, and that awareness has no age. It was present when you were 5. It is present now. It will be present when the body has long since transformed into something else. From that place of eternal awareness, look at your body with compassion, with appreciation, with the love of a master artisan who sees the material they are working with not as broken, but as in process. Your body has carried you through everything, every heartbreak, every triumph, every ordinary Tuesday afternoon that you did not notice was sacred. It has never stopped working for you. And now, in this moment, you are working for it. Take 3 final deep breaths. On each exhale, make a sound, any sound, a slow, resonant hum. The vibration will travel through your vagus nerve, through your cellular fascia, into the very matrix of your being. When you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome forward. Not as sentimental concepts, as measurable electromagnetic events. The sacred practice, twice daily, once in the morning, once before sleep. Place both hands over your heart. Breathe slowly into the heart space, and call to mind, with deliberate intention, a memory, person, or experience that genuinely evokes deep appreciation. Let that feeling expand. Let it radiate through your chest. Hold it for 5 minutes. In that state, your body is releasing oxytocin, DHA, and immunoglobulin A. Your inflammatory markers are falling. Your telomerase enzyme is activating. Love, in its coherent form, is the most powerful anti-aging medicine ever identified. Sacred Key 7, the sacred purpose field. Spiritual dimension, the dermic activation, biological dimension, telomere length, meaning-based longevity. And now we arrive at the 7th key, the master key, the one that makes all the others possible. Purpose. Viktor Frankl, who survived the Nazi concentration camps and went on to found logotherapy, observed something extraordinary. The prisoners who survived, against all biological probability, were not necessarily the strongest or the youngest. They were the ones who had a reason to live, a meaning that transcended their suffering. Modern longevity science has confirmed this observation with molecular precision. A 2013 study published in the journal Psychological Science found that individuals with a strong sense of purpose had measurably longer telomeres than those without. Purpose, it turns out, is not just psychologically healthy, it is biologically expressed at the chromosomal level. Your DNA knows whether your life has meaning. The alchemists called this the summum bonum, the highest good, the animating purpose that transforms every action from mere survival into sacred participation in the great work of existence. In 2026, your sacred purpose is not a luxury, it is a biological necessity. The practice, take 30 minutes this week, not a quick note on your phone, but a genuine, pen and paper, uninterrupted 30 minutes, and answer this question. If my body were not a limitation, if I were already fully healthy, fully alive, fully luminous, what would I give to this world that only I can give? That answer is your activation code. Write it down. Read it every morning. Let it be the first conscious intention you place into your cellular field each day. Because a body with a reason to live does not age the way a body without one does. The telomere activation meditation. And now I want to give you something to take with you. Not information, an experience. What I'm about to guide you through is a synthesis drawn from Tibetan Tummo meditation, Egyptian Kemetic breathing practices, and the modern cardiac coherence protocols of HeartMath, adapted for the specific purpose of activating your telomerase enzyme and shifting your cellular environment from one of aging to one of renewal. You can do this practice right now, or you can return to this moment in the video whenever you need it. Close your eyes if it is safe to do so. The experiment of you. What I have given you today is not a belief system. It is an experiment. And you are both the scientist and the laboratory. Over the next 30 days, I want you to commit to practicing at least 3 of the 7 sacred keys daily. Not because I am asking you to trust me, but because your body is asking you to trust it. Track what changes. Notice your sleep. Notice your energy. Notice what happens to the story you tell yourself about how old you are and how much is possible. Because here is the truth that no institution, no pharmaceutical company, no aging industry wants you to fully understand. Your biology is not fixed. Your genome is not your destiny. Your telomeres are not a countdown timer with no override. Your DNA is listening, right now, in this moment, to the signals you are sending it through your breath, your thoughts, your emotions, your purpose, your sleep, and your sacred communion with the living intelligence of this planet. You have always been the author of your biological story. You were simply never given the pen. Consider this your pen. If today's transmission resonated with something deep in you, not just intellectually, but in the body, in the chest, in that place below words where truth is recognized before it is understood, then I invite you to go deeper. Join our Telegram channel, where every week I share transmissions, practices, and the leading edge of what sacred science is revealing about human potential. The link is in the description below. Thousands of people in this community are already running this experiment, reporting changes in their blood work, in their biological age scores, in the simple, daily, undeniable experience of feeling more alive. Subscribe to this channel so that you receive every new key as it is revealed, because what I have shared today is the beginning. There is a depth to this work that cannot be contained in a single video. We are only at the surface. And like all initiations, the deeper waters are where the real transformation lives. Go drink some water, take a walk barefoot if you can. And remember, you are not aging. You are deepening, and the depth has no bottom. Until we speak again.